Hi there. Before I start, I want to thank you for being my reference. I created this short MP4 to fill you in prior to a call from Guggenheim, should I be selected for the fellowship. This is my plan and video clip for the 18 images that I've submitted. And before we get started, I'd like to give you just a short, brief description of which you will receive prior to Guggenheim's call. I'm reading from one paragraph to give you an idea about the images that I have presented. I am requesting a Fine Arts Research Fellowship titled Cultural Canvas to enable me to engage in 9 months of intensive study of the Indigenous art in Canada. The goal of my project is fourfold. 1. To further develop skill in creating masks with contemporary materials by studying mask making techniques with experts from the Canadian regions, West Coast Haida and Eastern Woodland regions. Number 2. To learn design elements from the Haida and Iroquois in relationship to compositional arrangements of those elements and method of painting to incorporate the style within my masks. This element will introduce art with a broader context to audiences. Number 3, to explore ways of combining these elements by understanding the context of the designs. Number 4, to understand the design symmetry and the relationship to abstraction in the development of a new style that would emanate from the synthesis of two very different artistic characters. My intention is to compose works which I and other professional artists will find interesting and exciting to view. This image is a 3-foot by 4-foot linen canvas acrylic painting, and the name for it is Ancient Wisdom. It is an acrylic painting, and a description about this. A rich background with patina-like gold and copper metallic paints. A composition of 18th century Chilcotin basket weave is created on the background, and upon the weave 5 generations of women, beginning with my great-great-grandmother, my grandmother, and as you can see, because it's unfinished, there will be 3 more in here. There's even a ghost-like tracing here that still needs to be completed. Her story. Brushstrokes to create ghost-like luminosity and work not yet completed, as I've said. And as we move forward, we are going to look at this image, which is a mask on linen canvas. The total composition is 24 inches by 12 inches. It's an acrylic paint with plaster, synthetic hair and eyelashes on a linen canvas. This is just recent, and one that I call Raven Mask. It is the once the mask was a face of various First Nations ceremonial culture to depict connection to animals, humans, or supernatural beings. So with the more human-like structure of the plastic surface, it has been finished with the polymer to enhance the mask. It is a contemporary analogy of the post-fur trade era, when beads brought in by pony train replaced natural quill work of First Nation people. Raven represents a trickster, a thief whose antics teach the people humility. And as you can see, when we move into the next slide, the raven has a bead, which is a small part of the larger story. This next image is the foundation of the bear mask for the bear transition, a total different one. that I wanted to provide in explanation of the work. The photo image of this bear mask has been taken after it has been plastered and been sanded. The mask is divided in half, as you can see. On one side textured with medium molding paste to create impression of fur, and a sense of a woman morphing into a bear is achieved through paint layers of depth, tone, and transition of space. We move into this piece and how it's attached to the canvas. It is also finalized. This is the final version of the plaster mask, and that it has a polymorph finish, synthetic hair, rabbit fur, synthetic eyelashes. It is also attached with metal grommets and commercial tanned leather strips in the back of the piece to keep it stable on the linen canvas. The mask is removable now for easy shipping purposes. So the artist, which is myself, as at this point finalizing the piece Bear Morph in my art studio. At this point I'm carefully attaching the leather laces to the back to hold the mask in place and keep it safe. This one is the final image of what I call the piece Bear Morph. And multitasking here, reading to you and doing the recording. So this is about the 17th century First Nation masks with human features that are anthropomorphic. They were made from crude or natural materials. Bear Morph is a theropomorphic mask which has animal characteristics, a bridge between the natural and spiritual worlds, and the difference between man and animal and organic and inorganic materials. As you can see in this image, this is the tree carving that I've done on the next piece, which is the tree mask. I'm utilizing tips and techniques from interior designing and cake piping methods for creating roots for the tree on the linen canvas. Molded shapes are carefully sculpted and smoothed with carving tools as a quality control measure. When this piece is finalized, as in this image, we have the tree mask, which is finished acrylic paint, self-made plaster glue molding paste from that for the roots, synthetic hair and eyelashes, metal grommets and commercial leather strips as well to attach to the canvas. Mask is removable for easy shipping. The tree woman mask represents the wisdom of the trees in the rooted environment, holding life together and sanctioning groundedness for all living things. Its contemporary evaluation is artistic, its qualities derived from a cultural context. As you can see, this next image is how the finished plaster masks, after they're sanded and painted, the final application is polymorph, and it just enhances the piece and brings the colors, and it looks really good. This is an example, an image of a larger version of my work. And as you can see through this picture, it is latex painted wall, 11 foot by 22 feet. And with 70 hours of work, this demonstrates the projection of my vision and determination in terms of working with larger subjects or installations. I call this an installation even though it is located in my art studio. This is the birch bark mask, and it's an image derived from resourceful research and curiosity in material use and creation. The mask inspired a change in style and functionality of my work. We're moving into the next image, which is Rainbow Woman, and has generated a lot of interest and enthusiasm from visitors in the couple of exhibitions I've had them at, the Kaleido Festival here in Edmonton, as well as the Bleeding Heart. It is an acrylic painting on plaster. She's created with joint compound synthetic hair and eyelashes, metal grommets, and ribbon to attach the mask to the linen canvas. The Rainbow Woman mask contains prisms of color, large pointillism, as you can see through the dots of her face, to depict rainbow beadwork. The color influences nostalgia for pure state of existence, departs from traditional Canadian First Nation paintings. Its innovative creation pushes traditional boundaries of First Nation avant-garde. And if you know what avant-garde is, then you'll understand that avant-garde is usually about social or political perceptions, and sometimes in choosing the beliefs and customs and depicting them in plaster challenges not just my community, but it also challenges visitors' sense of vision when they're looking at it. It's a very new type of art, and it's slowly becoming welcomed into exhibition space. This next one is the fire element mask, and he represents male energy and the northern hemisphere. His intellect is on the medicine wheel. His effigy commands power, color seduces the viewer. His presence, a mythological story of a First Nation male, an avant-garde of cultural beliefs, values, and societal mores are challenged. He is also made from plaster, metal grommets, acrylic resin finish, and he's attached as well in the back with ribbon. I'd also quickly move through this. This is one of my earlier images, paintings on linen canvas, bare looking in. He is on a 14-inch by 11-inch canvas, acrylic painting, also molding paste, stenciling, and acrylic gel on linen canvas. The painted mixed media effect of bare looking in is an experimental array of tone and color layering techniques pivotal in creation of depth. The bare shape was created by molding paste, and its depth achieved with varied subtle tones. This particular technique is a foundation for later art pieces. And so now we're going to move into another one that I call Full Moon. This 2012 art piece, titled Full Moon, saw its first exhibition in Simi Times Square. The layering of acrylic paint mixed with acrylic gel, emphasized by black ink, creates a realistic depth. The black ink tribal design enhances the gold moon, and thin, strong, bold lines express movement. It is placed on 11 by 17 canvasette, acrylic painting, ink on canvasette. We are moving now into what I call Copper Hawk. It is an art piece that creates a distinct pattern of layering acrylic paint mixed with acrylic gel. The black ink tribal design pushes the hawk forward and creates a realistic depth. Wisps of gold and copper brush strokes give the impression and direction of feathers. It is dated at, 2000, I believe it's 2012, and it is acrylic painting, ink on canvas at 11 by 17 inches. And we're moving to the last two pieces. This particular piece is called Wolf Morph Woman, and she is on 11 by 14 inch canvas, and it's one of my prior works of 2011, of which the bear morph mask came from, the idea. It's an experimental practice of blending techniques and skill to create an image that appears transitory. Tonal variations in light and darkness provide an illusion of movement, combined with small brush strokes. This piece is a success in shift from human to animal, otherwise called morphing. And this last piece, image 18, is called New Life. It was created in 1999. Although this foundation requires 5 years, I've included this image to demonstrate to the viewer of Guggenheim the original works of a blue artist, which I'm formerly still called, because of the use of Phthalo blues. This piece is a hallmark of my professional art career and demonstrates my advancement in the arts both personally and professionally. From my earlier realism, of which this picture is depicted from, to a present-day Canadian First Nation avant-garde.